Hi, Reed. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Paulina. Thanks for having me on. It's great to see you.
So, I called you today because I wanted to ask you a little bit more about what you do, and especially because I saw that you are an expert in processes, the SOPs, right? So, because I'm at the point in my company where I am running out of time to do everything myself, and I'm starting to hire VAs and assistants and things like that. So, and I start seeing that I don't have any structure to that. And then I was hoping that you could maybe help me a little bit. Um, so maybe you could just introduce yourself, what you do, and then I will show you my shared screen and ask you a little bit more questions, if you don't mind.
Sure,
So
yeah.
can you tell us a bit more like why people call you an expert of SOPs?
Well, I mean, in general, they say that an expert has done 30,000 hours of something. And I've had 20 years of business processes as an inspector in the oil field. So for over 20 years, I would be the guy that would go out and make sure that the processes were being followed and that they were developed correctly in the oil field to make sure that the job got done quickly, on budget, and safely. Most importantly, safely. Right. So I was also the person that would go out and when there were incidences, people got hurt due to an issue or even got killed in certain situations. I would be the expert that they would send out to try and nail down the root cause of some of these things. So inevitably, it would be a systemization issue. A process either wasn't followed, or when the process was followed, the process it wasn't correct. It was missing something. So I think that really relates to the larger life, really. Sometimes just missing one simple little thing can make a huge difference. Let's say towards Amazon, you put in a competitor's trademark name into your back end. Well, in this in this realm now on Amazon, there are a lot of real professional companies out there doing this sort of work. It's moving further away from the solopreneur in that people are seeing that it's a major market, and the people that are seeing that either have their own systems in place or they are in the midst of developing them. So I guess on the expert side, we're also have a consulting company where we have certified employees through Amazon. And so we take care of some of the larger companies selling on Amazon in a brand management role. So this allows us access to all different types of accounts, and we're constantly building out processes for them specifically, or we're building them out for our own large business as well, because obviously we sell on Amazon as well. So it's all these different things. And also we have a software company. So we get a lot of our data from the 4 different offshoots of our software. And so really we have a lot of information that we can take and smush into our processes and know that they work correctly, which is really the ultimate thing, right? Because mistakes cost time and cost money. And for larger sellers like us, it's time that costs more than money, right? Money you can replace, but if you lose time, say on a launch that's critical, your potential to lose a lot more money because you missed 1 hour of something it is vastly, expanded upon, other than, oh, well, we blew $500 because we made a mistake. No, sometimes it's that 1 hour that makes the difference.
Very interesting. And that's exactly what I'm finding now, that My time is becoming more and more expensive. If I have to put a dollar value on it, it's probably $500 an hour I'd put on it. And I don't want to spend
Right.
it, doing some little manual tasks that could be outsourced.
Right.
I will share with you my screen. And by the way, when I looked you up, I saw that these are the multiple companies that you are the founder of. So that was Atlantic East Marketing. And is that the e-com process? So that's the one that is has the processes
That's correct. Yeah.
available? Right. So then I opened it up and looked it up and saw what it looks like. And I watched the videos here. And then you know what I found? I found this little search where you could actually use it to search what type of processes exist. Because I am so new to this, I don't even know where to start this outsourcing part. So it was so curious for me to just see the list. I just put in Amazon without knowing what I'm doing. And I saw
Right.
all of these different things that could be processized, so to say, optimize Amazon listing checklist, and then resolving Amazon Seller Center issues checklist. So these are
Right.
so interesting. I was hoping that you could maybe show me one that is an example and we could together look at it and you would explain what it is and how I would use it.
Sure. Sure. I will share my screen with you.
All right.
And we will get there and click. And
There you go. I see it.
can you see that?
Yeah, I
Okay,
can see it.
awesome, awesome. So this is one where it is the sponsored ad campaign setup checklist. So what we really have developed these processes for is mostly to so that you can hire someone who knows nothing about Amazon from the Philippines, from India, from China, or of course locally, and that's becoming a larger thing nowadays. And you can just give them these processes that are going to walk them step by step through each of the situations. So in this case, we have how to set up the sponsored ad, and of course, this is just one part of a larger set of processes, and in this case, we would call them task templates. So, but in particular, this would be one of the more main ones. So what you have here is different types of training. So a lot of people like to do this sort of stuff by reading it. Others like to do it by using images. Now, in this particular case, we don't have images because it goes when you go to the other processes linked to it, those would have the images because this is one of a more overarching sort of process. And so you have text, you have images, and you have video. So we also provide a couple videos for this.
So is it you who's creating
in this
the
particular case,
videos? Is it you who's creating the videos, or is it me when I buy the service from you?
oh no, it would be us. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, those are all just part of them. Now we have over 700 processes, and when you're talking about, say, acquiring a business, well, that's not a process that you can list out step by step. Do this, go here, go to your bank account, sign up, give the money. That's more overarching. And so we wouldn't necessarily have a video for that, but we have a large checklist that gives you the points that you really want to focus on. Whereas the Amazon side of things, we really try and pinpoint it because we know that this is going to be sent out to maybe people that really don't know about Amazon. So and the Amazon processes are really quite focused and for people that are, let's just say, just learning.
Okay. So I would give this to my VA. How do people use the processes at all? I'm not so familiar with that. So you would create a document at your company, and then so you hire someone new and you just give them this to follow? Like, do you go back and check it? Or like, how does the process work?
So in this case, we are compatible with Trello, Asana and ClickUp. And so there's a process once you sign up and you purchase the package where we have those boards available and the cards in them. And what you would do is you would, because there's so many processes in the package, we have the task templates, which give you sort of a list of the URLs and links to the Trello cards. And then you would pull those Trello cards into your own account and put them in the order that we say in the task template. And so at that point in time, if you know, how familiar are you with task management software like Trello?
Sure,
Like
I am. I use Trello for some things.
Okay, yeah, so that's how it would be. You would just get access to the master board with all of the processes, and you would pull the cards you need into, let's say, you want to hire someone, right? So a hiring task board. Well, you would just pull the processes that we say, hey, this is the best processes, this is the best order to bring them in, and you would pull those over into your own personal board from our master board, and then you would just have them all the time. And you would invite your people, whoever you have in charge of that, to start doing that.
So you feel that the processes are more important for people who have no idea how to use Seller Central at all, or is it still useful for someone who's a little bit familiar with it?
Oh, absolutely. Our goal with Ecom Process is to answer every single question you have, as long as it's within terms of service. So I think that's an important part to point out, that this is not a product. I'm not trying to plug the product, because you can develop your own processes just as easy. But sometimes it's easier to have them ready made, and they're correct. But it's it's important to be able to find what you need to quickly and know that it's right. I'm not sure if I answered your question there, but it's that would be what it would be for, is for anybody, really. We want to be able to answer any question.
Okay, it's very interesting. So let me just check. I'll try to share my screen again.
Sure.
And I was curious about the pricing of this. So do I just pay like one price for all of the 700 plus processes? Like all 700, are they business processes, or they are Amazon Seller Central processes?
So there's both. At this point in time, I think we have around 50 Amazon processes, and we have 180 within the next month that are going to be uploaded.
Oh, great. Okay.
So we're like right on the cusp of really filling it out. So obviously that 700 plus all magically turns to around 900.
All right.
And yes, you would just purchase the package, and then you would gain access to the entire thing. Basically, we only sell packages. We don't do them month by month, because it's really, if you're just going to do it for 1 month, this isn't going to work for you. You really need to take some time and prioritize what you really think is important in your business. Because let's get something straight here. When I said there's professional companies out there selling on Amazon, I'm not kidding. That's the way this is turning. And for every one day you're not systematizing your business, they already have that system in place. So they're gaining 2 days on you, then 4 days, and it's just exponential. So in order to be competitive, I think that this is a fairly important part of any business. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here. Like, I mean, you can still succeed. I'm just saying that there are those out there that are making this into a system more than just fly by the seat of your pants.
Yeah, that's what I had, like sort of a chaos until now.
Yeah.
Like, I would basically just tell my VA, okay, just wait until I have time to record a tutorial for you, or just go Google something.
Right, exactly.
Just write up the process, whatever you found. And it's very inconsistent, and Uh, I'm really curious about all of that. So look, these are also something not related to Amazon that could be actually useful. So I buy them as one package, right? They all come
Yeah,
together?
they're all one package, and it's not. I mean, since I like to think of myself as somewhat of an Amazon expert. We do have quite a few Amazon specific processes in there, but this is more for just business in general. How to acquire another business. If you're running, say, a warehouse, there's different ways to do that. So we're really trying to cover the gamut of the entire spectrum of business.
So would you say me as a intermediate seller is your target audience, or this is more designed for bigger sellers that are doing, 8 figures and so?
So I would like to preface that with, where do you feel you want to be in a year? So if you feel you want to be $1 million seller, a 7-figure seller, and you're only say a $5,000 a month seller, then yes, you would need to start getting this sort of stuff into place. So if your goal is $1 million, then this would fit you. If your goal is to do, say, $500,000, maybe you can probably get away without doing that. But I would, it's a goal mentality. Where do you want to be, and how are you going to get there?
My God, I'm just looking at this and thinking how many hours it would take me to write this, and it's so boring, and it's $500 an hour, remember? So that would be a lot of hours wasted. So what's the price on that actually? I will calculate my 500 an hour. Okay, so a year I'm paying, right? 2,500 a year.
Access for a certain amount of
stuff.
stuff.
To be about 200 something a month, right? That's like half an hour of my time, basically.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Totally makes sense. It's very, very good pricing. Feeling that if I need, let's say out of 700, I would realistically need maybe 250, and then times my $500 an hour. That's much, much more expensive than what you offer. Definitely. Okay. So for that, I get all of this. There's even spreadsheets included. Like what? What's that about? Is that Amazon related? Anything with spreadsheets?
Yeah, I think there's a return. So you can have your VA. Just one example is you can have your VA track your returns and the reasoning why, so that you can isolate issues popping up from refunds on a particular product. Say maybe there's a part that's breaking. If you track that, then you can really pinpoint that and nip it in the bud before it becomes a review nightmare, really.
Okay, so let me do a little check. Let's see. So let's look you up and see your social proof. What other people are. Let me check in my Facebook groups. I've joined a lot of Amazon seller groups. Thanks for the ad. Looking forward to getting some help. Interesting. So I guess Amazon influencer, and that's your company name, right? The software?
That's one of the softwares. Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, some great news. That's you posted. And I'm starting to use from my friend Reed Menssa instead of Jungle Scout. We'll test and let you guys know about that. It has superior something. That's good. I know this guy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's looking good. Your social proof gets a check mark on my side.
Okay, good.
All right. So I'm pretty much now a little bit familiar, and it's always nice to see a face of the company that you're going to work with. It's strange to buy from anonymous companies, so it's nice to see you being the face of your company, and now I feel more confident to purchase from you. So thank you very much for all of that information.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for letting me show people, and the social proof. I got to go out and take a look at what people are saying about me.
Yeah, be careful on that. I think that's what mostly people check, you know, your website, your
Yeah,
LinkedIn, and then your Facebook social proof, you know.
exactly, exactly.
All right. Well, nice chatting with you. Talk to you
You
later.
too, Paul. Yeah. Thank you. Bye.